that relentless pull, that undeniable surge of desire we often label as lust. For many of us, it feels like a raw, untamed force, a weakness to be conquered, a temptation to be suppressed, a part of ourselves we wish would just disappear. We fight it, we feel guilty about it, we might even be ashamed of it. But what if the struggle is based on a profound misunderstanding? What if lust, in its many forms, isn't merely a biological urge gone astray, or a primitive impulse to be ashamed of? What if, instead, it's a potent, often distorted message from the very depths of your psyche, trying to tell you something incredibly important about who you are and who you are meant to become? This is the revolutionary perspective offered by the pioneering psychologist Carl Jung. He invites us to look beyond the surface manifestation of desire and consider that the energy we label as lust is often a call from ignored, undeveloped, or unintegrated aspects of our true self, powerful archetypes residing within our unconscious, like our shadow, or our inner feminine, the anima in men, or inner masculine, the animus in women. Today, we're diving deep into Jung's profound psychological philosophy to explore this radical reinterpretation of desire. We'll uncover why simply fighting these powerful impulses is often a futile battle, a war against ourselves that can lead to a frustrating cycle of guilt, shame, and an even stronger, more distorted resurgence of the very thing we try to deny. More importantly, we'll explore Jung's transformative path. Not suppression, but integration. This is a journey towards wholeness, a process he called individuation, where these seemingly problematic energies are understood, embraced, and transformed into vital fuel for authentic purpose, creativity, and genuine connection. So, let's begin by understanding Jung's view of the psyche and why he saw such significance in what we often dismiss or demonize. For Jung, the psyche is a vast and dynamic system with conscious and unconscious parts. The unconscious isn't just a dumping ground for repressed desires. It's a source of immense wisdom, creativity, and potential. Within it reside powerful archetypes, universal patterns of human experience. One of the most crucial archetypes is the shadow. The shadow contains all the parts of ourselves that we have disowned, repressed, or deemed unacceptable. Perhaps our anger, our ambition, our vulnerability, or yes, our raw desires and instinctual nature. Because we deny these parts, they don't go away. They often get projected onto others or erupt in uncontrolled, distorted ways. What we might experience as compulsive lust can be the shadow screaming for attention, for integration. It's raw psychic energy that hasn't been refined or consciously directed. Then there are the anima, the unconscious feminine aspects in a man, and the animus, the unconscious masculine aspects in a woman. These are not simply about gender roles, but about complementary modes of being: feeling, intuition, relatedness, often associated with the anima, and reason, assertiveness, focused action, often associated with the animus. If these inner figures are undeveloped or unconscious, their energy can be projected onto external people, often leading to intense infatuations, obsessive desires, or what feels like uncontrollable lust. The longing is not just for the external person, but for the integration of these missing qualities within oneself. Jung described developmental stages for both the anima and animus, moving from primitive, projected forms to more mature, integrated expressions. So, from a Jungian perspective, when you feel that relentless pull of lust, it's often not just about the external object of desire. It's a signal. It might be your shadow demanding acknowledgement of its power and vitality. It might be your undeveloped anima or animus desperately seeking expression and integration through projection onto another person. The energy itself is not inherently bad. It's raw psychic life force. The problem arises when it's unconscious, unintegrated, and therefore expressed in a distorted, compulsive, or objectifying way. This is why, according to Jung, simply trying to suppress these energies is like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. It takes immense effort, and eventually, it will shoot up with even greater force, often in unexpected and problematic ways. Suppression doesn't resolve the underlying psychic imbalance. It often exacerbates it, leading to internal conflict, neurosis, shame, and a feeling of being perpetually at war with oneself. So, If suppression isn't the answer, what is? Jung's path is one of conscious engagement and integration. This is the core of his concept of individuation, the lifelong psychological process of becoming an individual, a separate, indivisible unity or whole. It involves bringing the unconscious contents, including the shadow and the anima/animus, into conscious awareness and integrating them into the total personality. How do we do this? Jung suggested several methods. 1. Shadow work. This involves courageously and honestly acknowledging the parts of yourself you've disowned. It means looking at your projections. What qualities in others do you react to most strongly, either positively or negatively? These often point to aspects of your own shadow. By withdrawing these projections and owning these qualities, you reclaim their energy. 2. Engaging with the anima/animus. This often involves paying attention to your dreams, fantasies, and creative expressions, where these figures frequently appear. Active imagination, a Jungian technique of consciously dialoguing with figures from your unconscious, can be a powerful way to understand their messages and needs. The goal is to develop an internal relationship with these figures, integrating their qualities into your conscious personality. For a man, this might mean developing his capacity for feeling, relatedness, and intuition. For a woman, it might involve cultivating her assertiveness, clarity of thought, and focused action. 3. Dream analysis. Jung saw dreams as vital messages from the unconscious, offering symbolic insights into our inner conflicts, undeveloped potentials, and the path towards wholeness. Working with dreams can reveal how these powerful energies are manifesting and what they require for integration. This process of integration is not about eliminating desire or lust. It's about transforming it. As these unconscious aspects are brought into consciousness and integrated, their raw, compulsive energy matures. The energy of the shadow, once acknowledged, can become a source of vitality, creativity, and authenticity. The projected desire fueled by an undeveloped anima or animus can transform. Instead of an obsessive, objectifying lust for an external person, it can mature into a capacity for genuine love, deep connection, and creative inspiration drawn from within. The longing for the other becomes a longing for inner wholeness, which then allows for healthier, more authentic relationships. The goal isn't to get rid of lust, but to understand its deeper psychic roots and allow its energy to be refined and channeled into more constructive, life-affirming expressions. It's about moving from being driven by unconscious desire to consciously directing our vital life force. As this inner work progresses, Jung observed that individuals often experience a profound shift in their perception of themselves and the world. They move towards a greater sense of wholeness, authenticity, and purpose. Interestingly, as the inner world becomes more coherent, the outer world often seems to reflect this inner integration in meaningful ways, a phenomenon Jung termed synchronicity, or meaningful coincidences. These are not just random events but suggest a deeper connection between the psyche and the external world, often appearing when one is aligned with their path of individuation. This journey of integrating the shadow and developing the anima/animus is not easy. It requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about oneself. But the reward, according to Jung, is immense. A richer, more meaningful life, a deeper connection to oneself and others, and the unlocking of one's true creative potential. So, the next time you feel that powerful pull of desire, instead of immediately judging it or trying to suppress it, consider pausing. Ask yourself, what might this energy be trying to tell me about the unlived parts of myself? What message is my shadow, my anima, or my animus sending? This is the invitation of Jung's psychology, to stop waging war against the depths of your own psyche and start listening to the profound wisdom your deepest desires, even those you label as lust, are trying to communicate. It's a path from fragmentation to wholeness, from compulsion to conscious creation. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into Jungian thought. If this exploration resonated with you, please like and subscribe. What are your thoughts on Jung's perspective on desire and the shadow? Share in the comments below.